All of my down to earth supporters, peace, and from the depths of my heart, mind, body, and soul. Stop, look, and listen. Pull up a seat. Open up your precious mind and sympathetic heart while you travel to a voyage of me, Salahdine, my mind, my heart, my feelings, my inner beings. Before I knew you, I was cold inside, but you lit a flame that devours me. You taught me a love that binds people into bliss, and through this thing they call grief, right beyond death, enchanted spirits that stops time altogether beyond mortal limits. Because of my true love for you and the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality, I've looked back at all the hurts, the mistakes, the heartaches, the inner feelings, the emotions, and conflicts. I've won so much and lost so much, innumerably, but balanced the course and made up my mind, willing to pay the price for our real love. Yeah, hold this thought in the inner chambers of your mind. You see, if our hearts are right and our minds are in tune, we can do miraculous things together. An easy conquest render love worthless. And unappreciated, a difficult one learn its values. None can deny my love for you is alive in this moment, throbbing and driven and sharing and giving and receiving. I occupy myself with real love and have no worry about material substance. My having to be away from the family I love, the heart, the hurt, the loss cuts deep. The wounds in my spirit seem like they will never heal. The agony, the loneliness remains raw. The days in exile alone, the nights are intolerable and near unbearable. I try to put my failures out of my mind, but I am only a man. How can I forget without tears, without pain of defeat? Yeah, the corrupt top seeks to take away my dreams, my ambitions, my loved ones. With grief in my blood and heart, I struggle and fight to hold on, to overcome. Love, success, freedom, peace, and tranquility of the soul and mind is not something to be bargained and cast it aside without moaning. Being forced away from you is like flesh torn from my body, eyes gutted out, a heart squares dry, unlike hunger. My love, wants, needs, and desires cannot be comprised or comprised. My needs, cravings, and desires are raw pain to be endured in the slow hours of the everlasting nights. I exist in agony and empty torments of regret of what might have been. I often wander empty roads alone and depressed. My mind's turned inside out on itself as if on a treadmill, obsessed with what if. What if I had acted differently, done thus and so instead of such and such? I constantly try to clear these thoughts, these negative thoughts from my mind. And from there is no sense in thinking about what I should have done. All those chances, options, and opportunities are gone. But are they really? Do they belong to a dead, buried past? Yet a man, a woman, a child does not exist, breathe, and live. Who can regret? Who can refrain? Who can refrain from chewing over old hurts, disappointments, let down, miseries and mistakes. I did what I had to do, but for every road I have traveled and walked, I can see 100 different paths I should have taken. In the final analysis, whatever I have been is what I was. All the strength and the goodness and the cunning and the decency and the evil, the black, the white, the gray, and only the corrupt top gave a good goddamn, took my liberty and put me in this worthless jam. Though it's far from easy, I will struggle and fight on until I am unable to fight more. I'm still vigorous and driven. Perhaps I'm unlike any other man, made old, weak, and ill, beyond regrouping in defeat and an ordeal of trying oppressed times. Yes, but I deny it not. Often I'm numb with loss and grief, torment, wheel deeply, fastened, burning, churning in my inner being. Often indeed I feel the terror. My sobbing breaks loose. The heart breaks. The loneliness, all the cold and empty and numbness of my soul is on ice. Sometimes I feel hopeless and useless because in a way I rob my family's love, values, virtues everyone needs to grow with. When I was in desperate trouble and needed, excuse me, I got to back up. You can edit that, right? Okay. When you were in desperate trouble and needed me most, I was powerless, rendered helpless. And it seemed to me all my life I've been on a locomotive out of control, racing towards this moment of hurt, retribution, and loneliness and untold despair. I've sunk to the lowest epitome of despair and longing and in need of my family's love and joy and comfort. I've wiped out the grief and along with it, the agony and regret, the aches, the exile, wretch. In those moments, the place where I could either end my life or go on living. The pain so intense, like the crisis in a fever. The patient lives or dies, but the fever breaks, and he or she is no longer ever the same again. The bitter truth is often hard to accept, like the leprosy of the soul. Whenever you lose a mother, a father, a child, a brother, a sister, a dear loved one, the heartbreak, the misery is so overtaxing. You force yourself to live, to reach out for another day, knowing deep within you, no matter how many other days you reach out and touch and listen. Family, while in prison, I had changed tremendously over the years, but I had always had a strong sense of myself. In the last few years, I felt I was losing my identity. There was a deadness in my body that eluded me as though I could not exactly locate its set. I would be aware of this numbness, this feeling of apathy, and it haunts the depths of my mind's eye. And because of this numb spot, I felt particularly off balance, the awareness of something missing, of a spot blank, a certain intimacy, of emptiness. Now I know what it was. And since encountering my true family, I feel life, strength flowing back into that spot. My step, my stride, which was becoming uncertain, has begun to recover. And the deftness, the confidence, the boldness which makes me want to hold the world, oppressed people, struggle on my shoulders. Life is so very short, a flash of seconds, a glimpse of moments, an acknowledgement of hours, a look at days and nights, an understanding of weeks and months and years. How very short in reality is a lifespan. To think and know the world has evolved and existed for millions of years. I question destiny, God, and fate. Why is it some are made to suffer so cruelly, so barbarously, and inhumanly, so unfairly, while others rejoice and live so fruitfully, so abundantly, and so sensuous and so succulently, yet never truly appreciating the preciousness and what it is, so priceless and sacred, their whim of life is fulfilled. As I step back, reevaluate, look into the pits and carvings of my mind and heart, and reanalyze all that has befallen me, my griefs, my joys, my despairs, my burdens. Overall, I come to the conclusion that I am a better person, to have learned through my foolish mistakes, to know the true value and meaning of appreciation for the love of a woman, the laughter of a child, the sweet mellow singing of a sparrow, the deep blue riches of a sky, the colors of a rainbow after summer rain, to feel of the autumn breeze upon my face, free without bars, steel, or concrete to incapacitate me. Now sadly and clearly, now I understand what is happening in life and through life. The frustrations and tragedies of human conditions, whereas in the past, the inability to exist, to see the threads that wovens the fibers of my lives. The colors and patterns were so dazzling and distracting as we stood in the middle of them, dazzled and confused. Now I understand the endings and look about for the beginnings. Now searching for that fresh and new start with the million for prisoners struggle. Pamoja lazimi tushindin imbelashaka. Together we shall conquer without a doubt.